Scream 6! Fuck yeah! I knew I downloaded a ghost would eventually lead me to something good. I love the Scream movies. It's one of the most consistent horror franchises out there in terms of quality. Its only real hiccup being the third movie, but I've seen some people come around to liking that one even. Scream 6 is the latest of these movies, and they do something different by setting the movie in Manhattan. And, for today's purposes, it also takes place on Halloween. So, I felt like talking about it. After last year's massacre, a popular theory has arisen that Sam was the true mastermind behind the killings, and now it seems like a new Ghostface has arrived to kill her for it, as well as everyone that gets in their way. This is just another really solid entry in the franchise. It somehow continues to subvert expectations even when everyone is expecting that from them, and there are a lot of really cool scenes with Ghostface in here. The whole bodega scene is great, and the subway scene is very tense. They actually use Halloween pretty well there, since tons of people are dressed like Ghostface and we don't actually know if the killer is on the subway with them or not. It's great! I also really like the subversive opening kill. First of all, I love Samara Weaving. I'm so happy she's here, and I'm so bummed that she gets killed immediately. But we all expected that. Scream loves to kill off actors who are predicted to have a larger role in the actual movie. It's a classic move. But they manage to subvert expectations when we start to follow Ghostface after the opening kill. Typically, we move right into the title after that, but this time we actually get to see who Ghostface is, how he blends into the group of friends in this movie, and we follow him home. Only for him to get killed off by a separate Ghostface. That was awesome. We've never seen a Ghostface target another Ghostface. I'm saying that name too many times. I love how he froze his words back into his face, and it was very satisfying to see that guy go down after he killed Laura. I guess on the topic of Ghostface, I'll say that, as expected, Roger L. Jackson is excellent in the role, and he's given a lot of cool things to say. Anytime we hear Ghostface in this movie, I love it. The killers that are actually revealed here are pretty lame though. These are some low-tier killers. I like the idea of a family doing the killings together, and having them try to avenge Richie was a good way to tie in the last movie, but these killers just aren't very interesting. They weren't interesting before their reveals anyways, but I expected them to be more memorable once they were allowed to go crazy. I guess Wayne was alright. We get to see more of him and understand where he's coming from a little more. He's the best of the three. But even though the grand reveal was underwhelming, I don't mind it too much. This movie isn't about them, it's about the core four, and they're all incredibly likable here. I already liked them a lot in the last movie, but they're developed even further here. I feel for Sam. It sucks that everyone thinks she masterminded the events of Scream 5 just because she's Billy's daughter, but she also has to grapple with the fact that she enjoyed killing Richie in some dark way that she's afraid of. She's not evil, but has the capacity for it. That inner turmoil was very interesting to me. And it's actually pretty sick when she gets into Wayne's head by talking about Richie's death, and then her eventual brutal killing of him. Tara is also pretty good. She's understandable in her desire to live her own life without Sam always looking after her, and that all comes together in the end. Mindy is great. I loved all of her meta fourth wall jokes. And Chad is incredibly wholesome. I love that guy. But, not that I wanted Chad to die, but I already barely believed he could survive his injuries in the last movie. This time they really suspend my disbelief. Is he impervious to knives? Not even Dewey got stabbed this much. I really feel like someone important should have died here. It would have made this movie more impactful. It probably should have been Gail. I mean, she kind of had it coming, seeing how she was supposed to learn to stop sensationalizing these Ghostface murders, and explicitly said she wouldn't write a book about the last movie's events because that's exactly what the killers wanted. Only for her to write the book anyways, as this movie reveals. I would have thought her respect for Dewey would stop her from doing that, but I guess she just regressed back to her earlier self. That was kind of a bummer. There's no Sidney Prescott in this one, which is fine. The last movie was supposed to be a torch pass to the new cast anyways, so not having Sidney here is reasonable, even though the behind-the-scenes reasons why she isn't here is pretty lame. I do have faults with this movie, but it's all pretty nitpicky, and doesn't impact my overall feelings towards it. It's a great time! I guess you need to watch the earlier Scream films to fully understand everything here, but it's fine. Just have a big stab-a-thon this year! Go on!